Howdy YouTubers, Lowly Traveler here. I'm going to do a new series called the Big RIG Gourmet. Most of it's going to be the home edition because I usually don't do a whole lot of cooking on the road, but when I do a few recipes on the road I'll go ahead and film it if I can. And today we're going to make my favorite cake of all time, double chocolate fudge Coca-Cola cake, kind of like what the Cracker Barrel makes. So if you're coming over here, I'll go ahead and show you how to do it. In the pan, you got 1 stick of butter. You're going to put that over very low heat. And you want to slowly melt the butter. And as soon as it's melted, we're going to add 1 ounce by weight of semi-sweet chocolate. You guys wonder what kind of chocolate I'm using? Well, it's not that expensive, folks. Hershey's dark chocolate bar. Chocolate chips will work too. Okay, so while that's melting, we're going to go ahead. Get you a bowl. In the bowl, you're going to add 2 and 1/3, 2 and 1/3, tongue-tied here, cup of cake flour. And cake flour is better for cake because you have a finer grain. It's made from a soft winter wheat, which is less protein. Less protein means less gluten. Less gluten means a less tough cake, more tender, moist cake. To that, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup Dutch processed cocoa powder, 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of good kosher salt. We'll just go ahead and mix that together. Sun's home. Okay, we'll just let that sit there. Kids are a blessing, aren't they? My son's Teddy was sleeping. Okay. We'll just crack the heat up a little bit when we get this butter melted. Don't want to tell us he got his teddy bear back. You guys want to know the story. Last time my son went north to visit his uncle and cousins, he left his teddy bear up there and they just came down last night to see us. And they brought his teddy bear. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add the chocolate. And you got to watch this. You don't want to put too much heat to it because you don't want the chocolate to burn. The chocolate's melting very nicely. Put a little light on it now. Oh, my son's going to be happy tonight. He's got Teddy back. You notice that the chocolate's kind of sticking to the bottom of the pan there. Yeah, just stir that up real good. Kind of scrape it down though. Don't let it stay down there too long because it will burn. And that's not... A good cake does that not make. Let's just put it that way. Okay, now got that melted. We're going to add our star ingredient, Coca-Cola, and it wouldn't be Coca-Cola cake without Coca-Cola. So don't use any other cola other than Coca-Cola. hiss at you a little bit, but that's alright. And, well, I already made the frosting, so what you do with this is up to you. We all know what we're going to do. We're going to drink it. Hello. Now, it may look like this won't combine, but it will. And stir it. And what we want to do is we want to bring this mixture to a boil. And then once we do that, then we'll add the final ingredient for the Coca-Cola chocolate butter mixture. Now, folks, the reason I said I already made the frostings is I did a video on this last night and I used the wrong amount of sugar. Want to make sure you have the recipe, you write it down correctly. So that's alright though. If it's worth doing, it's worth redoing, I guess. Okay, it's a little blended. We'll let that coast up to a boil. Go ahead and wash this up and then no, this ain't like the big grocery, or not grocery, big gourmet cooking shows you watch on TV. We actually have to wash cups here because we don't have 100 sitting around for each ingredient. Okay. Next up, what we're going to do, get your mixing bowl. We have a stand mixer, but regular mixer will work too. And there you're going to add 1/2 cup each of shortening and vegetable oil. And if you have a stand mixer, use your paddle attachment. And to that, we are going to add 2 cups of sugar. Go ahead and blend this so it's nice and fluffy. Just under this little mixture here. That's pretty good. Basically what you want to do, you want the sugar to beat into that shortening and oil, and that makes for a nicer texture in the cake. Okay, starting to get a little fluffy. We're going to add 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Use the pure stuff if you can find it. Tastes a lot better. Starting to get a little bit of a boil, so what we're going to add to this is 3/4 cup marshmallow. 3/4 cup of miniature marshmallows. Get dissolved in there. Kind of like a big old cup of hot chocolate. Might be able to drink it, but I'm not going to. bake a little bit like hot chocolate. So you'll go ahead and fill that and let it coast the rest of the way. Okay, come here and look at this. See how nice and fluffy that is? We'll slow it down. We're going to add 3/4 cup of buttermilk. We're going to add 2 chicken eggs, but we're going to add them one at a time. So, one. And what we want to do is create an emulsion. The fat and the water start to mingle together. Okay. And the other one. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to stop the lid. Almost forgot. Crank your oven up to 350 degrees. That'll be warm by the time I get to it. Go ahead and scrape the side of the bowl here. Make sure everything mixes thoroughly. Want to do is get the marshmallows thoroughly dissolved. As you can see, we're pretty much there. Little bits and pieces here. Alrighty. Next, what you want to do is slow this down. Yeah, I'll show you what I'm using this for in a minute. I got this from one of those cooking shows you find on popular cable network there. Just put it on a paper plate works best, but we only have styrofoam, and basically that's spin that in and let the ingredients flow. Good clean operation. When it's done, we're going to add half of the Coca-Cola mixture. Let it blend thoroughly to get as good and blended as we can get it. Oh man, that looks good. Kind of doing this by a third of the dry, half of the Coca-Cola, a third of the dry, the other half of Coca-Cola, and the rest of the dry. Go ahead and add more dry ingredients there. See how that's getting thoroughly combined. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add the remainder. I'll get this way so you guys can see it. Remainder of the Coca-Cola butter chocolate mixture. And marshmallow. Not forget the marshmallows. Alrighty. Dry goods. The good thing about these is when you're done with it, you can just throw it away. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and scrape the sides of the bowl. Make sure everything gets thoroughly blended. And this batter is going to be thick. That's what you want. You want a thick batter. Well, that's finishing up. Cake pan, 13 by 9. And it says to grease and flour it, but this stuff does just as good a job of keeping it from sticking. Now, how fast do you think it would have took me to grease and flour that? That took me what, about 3 seconds? Alrighty. Take a look at that. Now that looks just as good, if not better, than the cake mix you buy at the store. Nice and velvety, smooth. Okay, y'all, that is ready to be put in the pan. Try to get as much of it in there as you can. You're going to put this in a 350-degree oven. You're going to bake it for 35 to 40 minutes or until toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. And then have a good day.